Back to the coalition, too. There's another issue, too. On the messaging, they have lost the fight on cost of living, because if you look at the polling, the most recent, I think it was News poll on who voters think would do a better job with the cost of living.
This is astonishing.
This is astonishing. Labor now has the advantage. And not only that, Labor has also the advantage on who do you think will be better for cutting your taxes.
Yes.
And this is just obscene that the coalition has surrendered this ground. And they actually think, I mean, like Joel Fitzgibbon had a great piece in The Australian on the weekend, and he said that, the coalition lost this when they opposed the Albanese tax cut. They should have gone and said, yeah, we'll see your tax cut and we'll raise it.
Raise you.
You know?
That's not a tax cut. This is a tax cut.
Excise, the fuel excise. And yes, the fuel excise will put more money in the pockets of the average Australian. But just the term excise, people do not recognise that as a tax cut. It's just simple politics. You've got to be a little bit smarter. You've got to actually...
And it's only for 1 year. It's temporary.
And it's only for 1 year. It's only temporary. And there are so many huge issues in the country right now that the coalition could have made this election into a referendum. We talked about immigration policy before, the 500,000 we've had come in per annum in recent years. You could have made it on that. You could have made it on energy. You could have made it on this is going to be a referendum on whether you want to prioritise emission targets and renewables, or whether you want to prioritise the cheapest, most reliable form of energy we have, which is fossil fuels, coal, gas. We're sitting on hundreds of years of reserves. We could actually utilise that to provide our people with cheap energy instead of some of the highest costs in the world. That would have been a genuine debate. What we're lacking in this country, and why I think so many voters are disengaged, is because there's not a genuine choice, or there's not a perception that we have a genuine choice of where's the great debate, where's the great ideological debates in this country, as we see in the US and elsewhere.
In the absence of policies, this has become a debate of personalities. And just as Albanese was very, very cynical about how he was able to demonize Scott Morrison in 2022 and paint him as this ogre, this woman-hating oaf, and all of this, Albanese has gone and turned this election into a referendum on Peter Dutton, when it should have been a referendum on, the thing this should have been a referendum on was the Albanese government and whether or not you want more of the same. But because there's been so little messaging, so little policy, and just simply saying, oh, well, power prices have gone up, energy prices have gone up, food prices have gone up, everything's gone up, but no sort of real sense of what they're going to do about it, they've allowed this to become a referendum on Peter Dutton, which is a complete category error, I think, for the coalition and for their campaign.
But at the same
HQ.
time as making it a referendum on Peter Dutton, they've deprived themselves of virtually every topic on which they could come out and actually have a fight. I'm going to play you a clip of Kemi Badenoch this week, James and Rita, the Conservative leader, formerly worked at The Spectator, by the way, the leader of the Conservative Party in Britain now. When we had the result last week, when we did it on the show, where the UK Supreme Court came out and said a woman is, yes, what we've been telling you on Outsiders for, a decade? A woman is a woman, that one, yes.
A biological female, an adult female.
So that's crazy talk.
Yeah, I know, crazy talk. This has thrown Keir Starmer, who has all sorts of problems on that front. Have a listen to Kemi Badenoch confronting Keir Starmer in the UK Parliament this week, and compare this to what we're not seeing from the coalition.
He's clearly so uncomfortable talking about this subject, yes. This is a choice between a Conservative Party that stood up for common sense and a Labour Party that bent the knee to every passing fad. This is a question about moral courage, Mr. Speaker, about doing the right thing even when it is difficult. And the truth is, he doesn't have the balls. The Prime Minister only tells people what they want to hear. He only tells people what they want to hear. He is a weather vane who twists in the wind. He cheered an ideology that denied safe spaces to women and girls because he thought it was cool to do so. He hounded a brave female MP out of his party for telling the truth he accepts now. And now he is hiding behind the Supreme Court judgment. And isn't that because he doesn't know what he actually believes?
Now, this situation fell in Peter Dutton's lap last week. He could have grabbed that and attacked Labor for being woke and for all the madness. The left wouldn't have known what to do if he'd just done something like that. Instead, what we got was this.
Well, we had a discussion about gender as well this morning, which was an important discussion also, and we can provide support through programs as we're seeing now. And there was a discussion about early intervention and also education at a younger age about violence and respect for people regardless of their gender. And we're happy to continue that discussion that we had this morning.
But do you think trans women are women?
Well, a woman and gender is defined, and there was reference made the other day to a case in the United Kingdom. But I think a woman is defined as an adult female, and that's the definition.
Do you think a trans woman is a woman, or do you think a woman is a biologically born female woman?
I've answered that question.
I don't think you have answered that question. Just a yes or a no. A biological woman.
I've given you my response.
Don't go running scared. Yes, you gave the right answer there. And
After how long?
And when there was a follow-up, you unequivocally state the facts. Yes, as the UK Supreme Court found in a unanimous decision, a woman is a biologically born. It is not someone who just.
But Rita, you then go on the attack. You then attack Labor. We've had all the Labor madness. You say this is typical of the Labor Party. They are still in the world where a woman is whatever and all that. That's just another missed opportunity. I can't believe how many great opportunities have fallen in their lap, and they've just walked away from every single one of them.
It's just unbelievable. You could have just gone and said, we believe this, and Labor is all at sea, and everybody would have lost their minds, and it would have been free publicity for them, and everybody who is sensible on this would have said, yeah, Dutton knows what he's talking about. Why is Labor off of the,
Exactly. Before we go to a break, just very quickly, Rita, Dan Andrews not accepted into the posh golf club.
So sad. So sad. Another golf course that has said, we don't want to see Dan on our greens. This is a man who has his legacy is going to be not just inflicting 6 disastrous lockdowns on millions of Victorians, but crippling the state with record debt, so many societal issues. I can't think of another politician who is more loathed in retirement than Dan Andrews. It really is quite extraordinary for someone who won so comfortably so many elections. He is now not welcome at numerous restaurants,
and the Liberal Party should be making the point that an Albanese government is tarred with much of the same brush in terms of the same ideology, all the rest of it.